Te reo ererangi o te mānia. This episode was produced in Otatahi by Plains Media, with support from New Zealand On Air.
Welcome to The Real Americana with Louise
and Blair. Settle in for great music from roots, folk, country and notable singer-songwriters.
And stay for hidden gems and the stories behind these timeless classics.
Greetings and welcome everybody to The Real Americana with Louise and Blair. I'm Blair Morgan.
And I'm Louise Morgan, and today we're featuring the mighty Neville Brothers, who really are the heartbeat of New Orleans music.
Yes, four brothers, Art, Aaron, Charles, Cyril Neville. If you throw in Aaron's son Ivan, you've got New Orleans music royalty. I've heard them described as the Neville dynasty, actually. Regardless, they proudly carried the torch to their native New Orleans.
And it's fair to say we've wanted to cover them for a long time.
Absolutely. Here we are in our 22nd episode. Personally, I can trace it back to reading a Rolling Stone interview with Keith Richards around 1981.
Of course you can. Here we go.
Well, he mentioned his pick for Album of the Year back then was Fiyo on the Bayou by the Neville Brothers, and I had to wait a few years to hear it, but when I did, I heard something special: soul, gospel, funk, R&B, Caribbean rhythms, Mardi Gras, Indian chants, all wrapped up into one package. But before we get to that music, let's talk about who they were, these guys.
Okay, yes, four very talented and distinctive brothers with mixed African-American, European and Choctaw Indian heritage. They were all born between 1937 and 1948. Their parents were Amelia Landry and Arthur Neville Sr., while their maternal uncle, George Big Chief Jolly Landry, was lead singer of the group The Wild Chipatulas. Am I saying that right?
I think that's pretty close.
Okay. He was involved in Mardi Gras Indian culture, and that influence runs right through the music of the Neville Brothers.
Yeah, and Big Chief Jolly, he gets his name checked in several of their songs across the different albums, so he's a big influence.
Now, despite growing up in the same family, how come they all sound completely different? Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Well, I think they're just all unique music identities. We have the eldest, Art. He's the keyboard player. He's got that, as a singer, a deep, warm New Orleans voice, almost a Barry White Lerve quality at times. Aaron, well, everyone knows Aaron Neville's voice, that vibrato heavy tenor with that amazing falsetto, like no other. Cyril Neville, he's probably the most direct singer. It's in sync with his Mardi Gras Indian kind of stage presence, and he's the leader. When we saw them live, he was definitely the leader of the band on stage. And then Charles, he often anchors the harmonies while playing virtuoso saxophone and other woodwind instruments. Put them together and you've got this New Orleans kind of gumbo stew, unlike any other.
And did they always play together?
They did not. They didn't come together under the Neville Brothers banner until 1977, but all had crossed music paths in the past and enjoyed varying success along the way. Art, in fact, started recording in 1954, but Aaron had the most success in the 60s as a soul singer. He had a huge hit with a song called Tell It Like It Is. In fact, I might just play a little bit. Here's a live version with his brothers, but let's just play a bit just to set the scene.
From the pages of the Neville Brothers songbook, we're going to feature our brother, Mr. Aaron Neville. If you want something to play with, go and find yourself a toy. 'Cause baby, my time is too expensive, and I'm not a little boy. No, no. You are serious. Don't play with my heart. It makes me furious. Oh, but if you want me to love you, then baby, I'm a win. Girl, you know what I win. Oh, tell it like it is. Don't be ashamed. Let your conscience be your guide. I know that deep down inside of me.
Yes, that's Aaron Neville with his brothers there. Tell It Like It Is. Then Cyril and Art found success in the mid-70s with the band The Meters, and they defined New Orleans funk not only on their own recordings but as a backing band for numerous artists, often utilised by the great New Orleans producer Alain Toussaint, who I think we should do an episode on at some stage. And those artists include Robert Palmer and even Paul McCartney. In the meantime, Aaron's career stalled. He worked as a dockhand for a time, and Charles relocated to New York City, where he played saxophone in a variety of jazz bands. And for a time, he actually spent time in prison for marijuana possession as well at the infamous Angola prison farm.
Oh dear, okay. This is a big build-up. What are we going to play next?
Well, they had a false start. There was a disco album in 1978 that bombed, but 3 years later, none other than Bette Midler, that famous singer, jazz singer, was able to point them towards an R&B producer, Joel Dawn, and the result was Fiyo on the Bayou, as mentioned. Very eclectic collection, critically acclaimed, and I thought, let's go with their version of Jimmy Cliff's Sitting in Limbo.
Sitting here in limbo, but I know it won't be long. Sitting here in limbo, and I feel like a bird ain't got no song. Meanwhile, they're putting up resistance, but I know that my faith will lead me on. Sitting here in limbo, and I'm waiting for the dice to roll. Sitting here in limbo, I still got a little time to search my soul. Meanwhile, they're putting up resistance, but I know that my faith will lead me on. I can't say where life will lead me, but I know where I have been. I can't say what life will show me, but I know what I have seen. Tried my hand at love and friendship that is past and gone. I know it's time to be moving on. Sitting here in limbo, and I'm waiting for the tide to flow. Wanna make my getaway now. Sitting here in limbo. Ooh, but I know I've got to go. And we're all gonna do it, yes we will now. Meanwhile, they're putting up resistance, but I know that my faith will lead me on.
From the great Fiyo on the Bayou album, that is Sitting in Limbo, featuring Art on lead vocals there.
No, I love that. And great backing vocals too. Now, hang on. Do I sense a fun fact coming?
A fun fact.
Ding, ding.
Ding ding. We usually play we're going to play a bit of a bell sound. There it is. Hang on.
Bit late
we
than
got
never.
there. There we go.
That's for the fun fact, right?
That's the fun fact
okay,
time.
what is it? Tell us.
On backing vocals, there is Whitney Houston, then aged about probably 17, 18, and her mother, Sissy Houston. Now, they also pop up on a couple of the other tracks on Fiyo on the Bayou, and one of them which we may get to later. Sissy was part of the Sweet Inspirations, who accompanied Elvis Presley in his Las Vegas shows of the early 70s.
Okay, I did not know Whitney had a famous mother, so there you go. So from here, where did the Nevilles go?
Built a formidable live reputation. There's a live album from 1982 called Live at Tipitina's, and that is where we took Tell It Like It Is from. Before they signed a deal with EMI and produced an album called Uptown, but it was kind of mired in a bit of 80s production and didn't meet any success whatsoever. But then a couple of years later, the story really goes into the stratosphere because we have none other than Daniel Lanois entering the picture with assistance from the ultimate ambient producer, Brian Eno, and out comes Yellow Moon, the group's finest hour. They cover Bob Dylan, Sam Cooke, their own originals, including an instrumental that won a Grammy called Healing Chant. Yeah.
Yeah, now, Daniel Lanois, we've done a whole episode on him before. He's a singer, guitar player, songwriter, and most notably a producer.
Yeah, and if listeners remember that episode, to go back, we played the title track, Yellow Moon. And I thought for this episode, just on the Nevilles, we'd play Sister Rosa.
Yes, so this is a well-known true story of Rosa Parks, a symbol of civil rights. She refused to vacate her bus seat for a white person during segregation times in Montgomery, Alabama in the 1950s.
Yes, and the lead vocal this time is Cyril Neville. So we've had Aaron, we've had Art, this is Cyril, and he co-wrote this. It's a bit of a hip-hop type delivery. Striking keyboard and bass line. Let's have a listen. Sister Rosa.
December 1st, 1955, our freedom movement came alive. And because of Sister Rose, you know, we don't ride on the back of the bus no more. Sister Rose, she was tired one day after a hard day on her job, when all she wanted was a well-deserved rest, not a scene from an angry mob. A bus driver said, lady, you got to get up, cause a white person wants that seat. But Miss Rose, she said, no, not no more. I'm gonna stay right here and rest my feet. Yeah. Thank you, Miss Rosa, you are the spark that started our freedom movement. Thank you, Sister Rosa Parks. Thank you, Miss Rosa. You are the spark that started our freedom movement. Thank you, Sister Rosa Parks. Now the police came without fail and took Sister Rosa off to jail. And $14 was her fine. Brother Martin Luther King knew it was our time. The people of Montgomery sat down to talk. It was decided all God's children should walk until segregation was brought to its knees, and we obtained freedom and equality. Yeah. Thank you, Miss Rosa. You are the spark that started our freedom movement. Thank you, Sister Rosa Parks. Thank you, Miss Rosa. You are the spark that started our freedom movement. Thank you, Sister Rosa Parks. So we dedicate this song to thee for being a symbol of our dignity. Thank you, Sister Rose. Thank you, Miss Rosa. You are the spark that started our freedom movement. Thank you, Sister Rosa Parks. Thank you, Miss Rosa. You are the spark.
You're listening to The Real Americana with Louise and Blair.
Hear us every other Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. on Plains Media.
And a reminder to subscribe on all good podcast platforms and find us on Instagram, The Real Americana Plains Media, or at blairmorganmusic.com.
Yeah, and that was Sister Rosa from the Neville Brothers. Daniel Lanois produced that. And that record really is timeless. Do seek it out, because unlike, as I say, some of their other recordings, that one is it's just got that New Orleans sound and aura around it. There's swampy things going on and crickets and all that stuff, all that Lanois stuff.
Okay, this is also the period when they became known internationally.
They did. There was a Nelson Mandela concert at Wembley Stadium, and it was in front of about 80,000 people, broadcast all around, apparently 60-odd countries or so. I do remember seeing it, and I remember Daniel Lanois was there with the Neville Brothers and vice versa, and they put on a great show. And so, yeah, more recognition for them.
And they followed Yellow Moon with another strong album.
A year later came out Brothers Keeper, produced by Daniel Lanois' sidekick and assistant Malcolm Byrne.
Yeah, and he's also sort of continued with that atmospheric sound, is that right?
A little bit more muscle this time, but certainly that kind of swampy sound in some of the tracks. There was, most might remember the hit single for them, which was a cover of the Leonard Cohen track Bird on a Wire, which was a tie-in to the movie of the same name, starring Mel Gibson and Goldie Hawn. I never saw it. It was quite of a cheesy kind of rom-com sort of thing, but this song was quite prominent. And from that album, I thought we might play Fearless, the Brothers Keeper album, and it features Aaron Neville with none other than Linda Ronstadt. Here it is.
That was Fearless from the album Brothers Keeper, featuring Aaron Neville with Linda Ronstadt. Now, Aaron was becoming more well-known in his own right through working with Linda Ronstadt, firstly as a duet on a hit in the mid-80s, Don't Know Much, and also via a solo album that she produced called Warm Your Heart, which included the hit single Everybody Plays the Fool.
It's well worth checking out, that album, and there's covers of Randy Newman and John Hyatt songs, and includes Ry Cooder playing on it, so some great artists there.
And you actually saw them live during this period.
I saw the Neville Brothers at the Sydney State Theatre in October 1991. I had to look up the date, but I knew it was 1991, yeah.
And what can you remember about it?
Well, the brothers came out, and minus Aaron, and they started playing, and they were looking around, and I could see they were a bit put off. I see something was going on, and then they said after they did their first song, well, Aaron's actually really hurt his back. He had is it sciatica, and they said he'll probably come out a bit later. But a couple of songs later, someone wheeled him out. And I remember Aaron saying, gee, my brothers sound really funky. And of course, it was probably because he never got to hear them without him being part of it.
And despite that beginning, it was...
I think it was probably the greatest concert I've ever seen.
Big statement, but you actually say that about a lot of concerts, you may not realise.
Yeah, I'm prone to exaggeration, perhaps. But in this case, look, it was a complete music celebration. The harmonies, the rhythms... Cyril was the ringmaster, Charles on saxophone, Art keyboards, the groove, and with Aaron's voice and a top band with them. Everyone was on their feet in the State Theatre, and it featured conga lines throughout, which I don't know if I'd ever seen much before, but it was a true celebration. It was really something. And a live album actually came out a couple of years later that I think captures some of that energy, if you like. I'll just play a little bit of Congo Square.
The place that American music was born, y'all. A place called Congo Square.
Well, it might be superstitious, but some kind of something is going on down there. Well, it might be superstitious, but some kind of something is going on down there. Well, it's an old-time tradition when they play their drums at night in Congo Square. You can hear 'em in the distance, and the old folks up the bayou say your prayer. You can hear 'em in the distance, and the old folks up the bayou say your prayer. That's when them voodoo people gather, and they play their drums at night in Congo Square.
Yes, Congo Square, an incredibly historic square going back hundreds of years and which some would describe as the birthplace of American music. Congo Square is in Treme, in New Orleans, and it's where slaves would gather on Sundays, their one and only day off, to sing and dance and play drums and practice a bit of voodoo here and there. Today it's still a popular gathering place and is part of the Louis Armstrong Park. And of course, we can't mention New Orleans without mentioning Hurricane Katrina.
Yes, that of course hit in 2005 and affected the Nevilles directly. Cyril lost his home, he relocated. Aaron also moved away, and like so many New Orleans musicians, they became ambassadors for the city during its recovery. And it's a reminder that these guys were really part of the culture there and the fabric of that fair city.
So the group formally disbanded in 2012, but reunited in 2015 for a farewell concert in New Orleans. Charles Neville died of pancreatic cancer in 2018 at the age of 79. Art died in 2019 at the age of 81. Now, you mentioned Ivan, Aaron's son, at the beginning of the show. How exactly does he fit in?
Well, he's a solo artist in his own right, a great keyboard player. And I'm not going to bring the bell out, but he's also a member of Keith Richards' band, The Expensive Winos. When Keith and Mick went their own ways in the late 80s, Keith formed a band and Aaron was in it playing keyboards. Should point out too that Art's son Ian also played with the Neville Brothers in the later years. So yeah.
Okay, and what are we going to go out with? Let me guess. A track from the album that caught Keith Richards' attention all those years ago, yeah?
That's exactly right. We've got from Fiyo on the Bayou, we're going to play the title track. This features, again, Sissy and Whitney Houston and the brothers in full vocal harmonies with Art and Cyril taking the lead. We'll see you in a fortnight.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining us on The Real Americana with Louise
and Blair. We'll be back Tuesday in a fortnight at 5:30pm right here on Plains Media, broadcasting on 96.9 FM and live streaming at plains.org.nz, where you can also find past episodes available as podcasts.
Follow us on Instagram or email us at blairmorganmusic@gmail.com. We'd love your feedback, requests, or just to hear what you're listening to.
Until next time, stay kind and keep the real Americana spirit alive.